Hello, everybody. It's Bob Anderson, and it is August 25th, 2023. I'm just doing a quick intro of a video I did of a segment I did yesterday of when the market opened, how the indicator was eliminating some trades from possibility because of certain strict rules. And I want you to see that so you can see how it's helping make decisions for you, or to guide you on good trades from bad trades. And then at the end, I have just a quick overview of the trades that were taken today in the RTY off the indicator and why it took those trades. And so let me give you an update on this indicator. The last hopefully, let me emphasize that. Hopefully, the last major bug I'm dealing with actually is about the order of power. And what I mean by that is, of course, we have a sequence. I've talked about it in previous videos. Have a sequence of what to emphasize more. So for example, like you always emphasize the overnight open over any of these SMAs or EMAs that I have on my chart. You don't trade into it, and therefore it's the most powerful. That's already coded into this stuff. But what happened recently in me doing some live trading and evaluating and that kind of stuff was I had a sequence, for example, where a 1 minute gold line trade set up first on a new recent low pullback 1 minute gold line set up. And so the system is looking for an entry off a 1 minute gold line. And then the next candle continues to move up and it pierces the 5 minute gold line. And now the 5 minute gold line is setting up for a trade. Now, the system knows to only enter one trade. The problem was the sequence by which it was looking at it was because the 1 minute gold line was the first one that it tried to enter, it kept that one as the as the primary trade, when the reality of it is once you pierce the 5 minute gold line, it now becomes the primary trade. So what happened in one of these sequences, the 1 minute gold line became invalid because the third candle, it's complicated, but for those of you that follow what I'm talking about, because you watch what I'm talking about, the third candle opened and closed above, this is a short, opened and closed above the 1 minute gold line. And so it eliminated all trades. Well, the trade itself was still valid because the 5 minute gold line was still in play. So the trade got eliminated. Well, the trade shouldn't have been eliminated. So the last thing I'm fixing in this is the sequence that if a 1 minute gold line is in play but has not triggered yet, meaning it has not entered, but the 5 minute gold line then comes into play. The 5 minute gold line overrides the 1 minute gold line. Same thing with the 5 minute red line. So that's the order of operation that I now have to get in there, and it makes the code more complicated. But it's a necessity because it is the way I trade. I let the 5 minute gold line override the 1 minute gold line. I let the 5 minute red line override the 5 minute gold line and the 1 minute gold line, because that is now the power. If that's the trade that comes into play, that's the new power. Okay? Or it's the new one that eliminates a trade because the 5 minute gold line, for whatever reason, even though the 1 minute's valid, the 5 minute becomes invalid. Whoa. If we're into the 5 minute and it's invalid, then the trade needs to be canceled. So anyways, that's the last piece, hopefully, I'm working on to get this thing exactly the way it needs to be. But other than that, it's working great. What I am so happy with is how the trailing stops are squeezing the bad trades out, so that I think I had an RTY day where it had like 3 losses and 1 win, and the damn thing still made money. I mean, anyways, watch the next 2 segments just to kind of see how it's working, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. All right, well, I'm going to see if I can get this thing to work today. This is the RTY, and I just got the setting to start at 9:45 in the morning. So all this right here is from the open, which this was the open at 9:30. Big push up, big push down. Now we're going to see if we can potentially, looks like we might be heading for the 5-minute gold line trade. I'm going to assume that the pivot that we're not trying to break is right here for it to trigger. So we'll see. I'm just assuming that from what I'm looking at. We'll see if it triggers here in a minute for a short. Candle may still be too big for it to enter the way I have it set, even if it does trigger, but we'll see. Now, I'm thinking the area that we don't want to break is, I'm thinking that area, right? Why did I do a line? God, I swear. All right, so here's what I think just happened. I'm thinking that was our pivot top right there, and we broke it. So it didn't trigger. It's too early in the morning for me to trust the 5-minute red line. So I don't think we're going to get a trade for a while. Wow. Okay. Yep. I don't think we're going to trigger a trade for a while. This may be a wasted video. This might be a wasted video, but we'll see. I mean, I can't predict everything. We will see here soon. Oh, by the way, who likes my new shark? Look at that. This shark is such a beast. He's been bit by other sharks. Let me tell you something. Talk about trading with the shark. That's the reason you want to trade on the back of the shark, because you don't want that mouth right there with you in the front of it. I love that shark. That's a beautiful one. Don't ever want to meet him in the ocean. That's for darn sure. Let's see here. I'm going to pull this over just for conversational purposes. Here's the YM. Okay. So the YM is showing along, but the reason we didn't trigger, my guess, is because we were too close to the overnight open right there. So we had a recent pivot high. See this right here? We had a recent pivot high, rotation down. My guess. Oh, no. This is one of those situations where by the time it triggered, we were already past 9:45. Yeah, this probably would have triggered. But anyways, it didn't, because the actual entry candle is after this had all happened. So, but anyways, we do have the overnight open right above us, which is, for those of you that don't remember, it's the 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time open of when the futures market reopens after it shuts down at 5. Anyways, so that's the opening price. So the YM's opening price is 34,576. So I got that running in the background in case it screams off for a trade. I'll pull that over. I got to run it on many different instruments because we've got traders that are interested in many different instruments. And the YM is a nice instrument to trade because it is smooth and it's inexpensive to trade, and it has a tendency to trend pretty good. And it is a nice instrument. It's got less market manipulation going on, in my opinion. So it makes for a good instrument to trade. Especially for like a retiree that's really just trying to, dick and dunk $100, $200 a day. The YM is the YM is a much better way to do that than the freaking ES. But for some reason, I find so many retirees trading the ES. Why would you trade? There's two highly manipulated instruments in the futures market. Highly manipulated. The NQ and the ES. And, the NQ might light your hair on fire and all that kind of stuff. But the reality of it is, the NQ is that big shark that's on my screen. Whereas the YM is more like a sand shark. He isn't going to take your head off, but he might take your finger off. I don't know about you, but I'd rather lose my finger in the water than lose my head. But the NQ is definitely a great white shark. Anyway, so we got a crossover here in the RTY. So we may be setting up for a long. Our moving averages are way behind. But we're about to break our 60-minute moving timeline, which is right here. It's rolled out to there, and then it's rolled down to here. So we're about ready to get to it. So we might eclipse rule 1 of a potential trade for like the 1 minute gold line or the 5 minute gold line, which is a recent pivot high before a pullback. It's looking like, if anything, for the next couple minutes, the 1 minute gold line will probably start running up. As long as this keeps going, we might get a Pierce pullback gone. Anyways, we'll see. And for some reason, my background hasn't changed colors yet. Maybe it will with this candle. I can't see. I got to fix all my candles. I literally just create a fresh chart every day because I don't have a standardized template yet. So, like, my guess is we've got this still on this side here. I can't see it because it's black. We'll see when this candle closes. Yeah, there we go. So now we're green. We're breaking a new high. Well, so what we need this 1 minute gold line to start running. We need this 1 minute gold line to start running up here. And then we need to get a little pullback. The open range break has been broken to the top, which, by the way, when I get this open range break strategy working, that's literally the mid band of that open range break. If you start at one end and you cross that mid band, boy, I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to roll that strategy out. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to automate out of the gate, and that's one of them. Which, by the way, that the open range break crossover, that would have been it right there. You'd be done. You have your money. Call it a day. But Rome wasn't built in a day, so I have to I have to go step by step here. Just me putting all three strategies on here with the 1 minute goal line and a 5 minute goal line and a 5 minute red line has made this this project itself more difficult than I really counted on. And just to keep you up to date on the YM, it has gone through the overnight open and it's running. So what I'm looking for, because we keep breaking new 60-minute highs, I'm waiting for it to roll back into this goal line and then bam. So let's see if that happens. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking for over here. Instead of just chasing the trades and guessing that this overnight open was going to push it up, we're again, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Oh shoot, I didn't even realize this, man. I'm telling you, I didn't even realize. I should have known that. If the YM was breaking through its overnight open, then we were probably hanging around the overnight open. We're at the overnight open right now in the RTY. Oh crap. All right, well, this may take a while to get an RTY trade. Hopefully the YM does it for us. The RTY bumping its head into the overnight open and maybe rolling down a little bit, that may help pull the YM down. We'll see. Because we need the YM to settle down here for a minute. Of course, RTY looks like it's like it's just keep right on going. Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah. The bad part, it being August 24th, we got to get past Labor Day. Get past Labor Day, that's when the market will start becoming, more active throughout the day than just in the morning. And so, the problem with the market right now is you feel like the only trades you can really get into and feel any confidence in are early in the morning, real early in the morning. And if it just runs through everything and doesn't give you a setup, you feel left out. Now we're starting to get a little red candle on the YM. Let me pull the YM over here because I'll put it right over here. So we got the YM here and we got the RTY here. Notice how they're both turning red at the same time. That's not by coincidence. But anyways, we'll see. So we need that YM to pull down. If it will pull down. Jeez, come on, YM. Just give us a trade. Give us a trade. Give us a one and done. I can shut the video down and I can work on some bugs that I need to get fixed on this instrument still. Along with selling houses. I ordered another house yesterday, folks. I mean, for those of you that don't recognize it, I have a really big job that I created myself, and I sell millions of dollars of houses a year, millions of dollars, which says a lot when the average house that I build is maybe $200,000. So, millions of dollars. I contracted a house yesterday, and then I ordered a separate house yesterday, and I have to order another house today. Those are the things I'm doing in my free time. In my free time, that's what I'm doing. Anyways, all right, let's see what we can get here. Come on, YM. Come on, here we go. We might get one here. All right, we might get a YM trade here. I'm not excited about the RTY because we're stuck in this overnight open area. If any of you have been paying attention lately, you will notice that the RTY in particular has been hanging out around the overnight open throughout the day. I mean, I'll bet you in a week, in 5 days, it's been hanging out around the overnight open for 3 of those 5 days. And that's because there's not the market players to manipulate it and push it around. So, I call the overnight open equilibrium. That's like where the market can settle without having to make a decision. Do we really want to be long, or do we really want to be short? I call that equilibrium. So there's no real market sentiment to push the Russell a certain direction. And so it's been doing this a lot lately. And so it's been kind of a disheartening instrument to try and trade lately. But don't let that fool you. That goes back to what I've talked about with back testing. Don't let that fool you, because that RTY right there, and there's some people that watch my channel that know this, but that RTY is a money printer. It's been a money printer for March, April, May. I mean, just a money printer. It'll outprint the ES in those months every day. I mean, it is a moneymaker. But it is an instrument that needs a lot of the day traders to be involved, because it is small caps. And if the day traders are not involved, it ain't gonna move. All right, so let's see here. The YM just may be setting up for a trade here. Let's see. Let's see if we can get one. I don't even have a standardized target and stop loss for this YM. So this will be an adventure. This will be an adventure. I haven't personally traded the YM myself in years. So this is truly going to be a guess. But we'll just at least see if we get the sentiment for an entry, the direction, that kind of stuff. But how this trade potentially will play out, I really don't know, because I don't know. Well, it didn't trigger. Oh shoot, man! I didn't realize that we were on test 3. We were on test 3 of the gold mine. I didn't even realize that. Now I see it. Here's 1, and here's 2. We had enough of a gap, but this is 2, and then this is 3. Oh man. That's not good. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Shoot, I lost the chart. Let me pull it back up. Now, see this one here, sketchy, RTY, because you would be entering it on the opposite side of the overnight open. Personally, I probably would have taken that. Just because the entry's on the right side of the overnight open. So this is why I do this. This is exactly why I do this. I have to see the thing live so I can tell what's going on. So I can get with the coder and say, listen, how you have this coded right here is not what I would. Now, by the way, test 3 got validated, because here you would have gotten peekapooed in and it's rolling over. Test 3 got validated. Let's go over here and look at RTY for just a second. Oh, sorry. I want to blow this chart up. So our entry was north of the overnight open from a smooth pullback. Boom. I know what we did. I got it. We didn't pierce here before we pierced here, and then it broke. That's why it stayed out. I got it. No, I got it. I got it. We're good. We're good. It was the trigger bar that broke this pivot, not. So therefore, we violated the smooth pullback. All right, we're good. We're good. This actually worked right. See, when it came down, so let me talk this through so everybody kind of knows. When it came down, it was reading the lower high, and what you can't see because this little thing's in the way, but the high of this candle is actually higher than this, but this was not the candle that triggered the gold line. And guess what? It kept us out of that bad trade. Instead, so the smooth pullback was violated. If this candle had been just north of the overnight open, but equal to this one here or lower, the top, then this would have been your entry. And this is the kind of stuff that I have to really evaluate and look at this stuff, but it's supposed to create hardcore rules for us to feel the confidence in, so that when we do take these trades, we feel like all the things that we're supposed to try and remember in the back of our minds has already been evaluated and checked for us. For example, on this YM. Okay. I mean, if you're sitting here getting ready to take this trade, I mean, and you're looking at it, how much thought do you have to look back to the left and see if this is touch 1, touch 2, or touch 3? You understand what I'm saying? So this kept you out of that failing trade, that trade that failed. We already had touch 1. We already had touch 2, which, by the way, touch 1 worked. Touch 2 worked. They both worked. They were both smooth pullbacks. They both went. They both smooth pullbacks. They both went. But this was during the open, so we didn't have it running. Now, does it make sense to have it running during the YM? I don't, because the YM does have a little bit more of a rhythmic move. Maybe. You certainly would have had 2 wins already. You get what I'm saying? But it kept you out of that third one, which was right there. See that? Kept you out of that third trade right there. Which by the way, down, peekaboo. It's hard to see, but that peekaboo by 1 tick. By the way, this freaking blue line down here is supposed to go away so I can see these candles better. I'm not supposed to be, see, it's hard to see these candles when this thing stays in the picture. It doesn't need to be in the picture. It's not relevant. The one that's relevant is up here. Anyways, I got to get that fixed. These are the things, because I need to be able to see these candles. I need to be able to see these candles better than this damn blue line down here that's not relevant. Anyways, but that peekaboo through by 1 tick. So if you had your trade sitting there, once this candle closed, boom, you'd have been in, and what did it do? Rolled you over like a donut. 1, 2, 3. It's all about 1, 2, 3s. We've talked about this. And, if you can stay out of the losers, sure makes those winners better. So anyways, let's see if this 5-minute gold line sets up. I am going to estimate that the pivot it's reading off of is down here all the way up to here. So this bottom needs to stay north of this bottom for this to trigger, for this to potentially trigger long. And this is the YM. I'm getting my charts all. But there's nothing going on because... All right, everybody. It is now August 25th, 2023. The first half of this video was yesterday. Actually, what was nice about yesterday's video is it emphasized why certain trades weren't taken, that it helps you as the trader avoid potentially taking trades that look right but aren't right for some technical reason. Today, I've been on a conference call working on this stuff, but what I wanted to do was show you the 3 trades that it took in the RTY this morning, and the YM, just like yesterday. We were talking about the YM and the RTY. And so I'm going to show you, this is the RTY's trades. And to be perfectly honest with you, it needs to be shut off now. If you'll notice, let me go over something real quick here. I keep getting messages and emails and comments and where can I get this? It's not out there yet, folks. You see this little thing right here that says sim? That's because I'm sitting here testing it. I'm not gonna have anybody put this on their computer and use it unless I'm willing to put my money into the trades also. That's how this is going to work. For my longtime subscribers, you should have expected that from me. If I'm not willing to put my money on and into this system and trade it, then why would I expect you to do the same thing? So, getting that off my chest. So sending me 300 emails every time I release a video asking me when this is, where this is, and I am hoping to have it completely debugged to my satisfaction here within a week or so, and then I've got to get it so that I can then be, disseminated in an organized manner. So just give me a couple weeks, okay? Honestly. And I want to be able to, perfect example. I'm going to give you a perfect example of something that's going to take me just a little bit of time. This is the YM, okay? The YM never triggered a trade today, even though some of them, see these black candles? These black candles, this is a 1-minute gold line that it set up, but it didn't take it because the candle was too big. This is a 5-minute gold line. It didn't take it because the candle's too big. Then it rolled down and it didn't take this one because the candle's too big. It didn't take this one because the candle's too big. I've got to, and this one actually would have worked right here. Okay, I have to, I'm not a YM trader. Okay, I mean, I'm not a YM trader. I'm familiar with the YM. I understand that it's rather smooth and, it's pretty liquid and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not a YM trader. So after I get this thing working exactly the way it needs to work, so I can trade it even with confidence with my own money, that's when I can take this and come up with the settings for the YM. Like I've somewhat created the settings for the RTY. Why do I somewhat have settings for the RTY and why do I somewhat have settings for the CL? Because those are instruments that I am highly familiar with. And that's one of the things that every one of you needs to do. Even when you get this, you need to take instruments that fit your trading style and get yourself familiar with them, because each one has their own personality. Gold has its own personality that's different from oil. Oil is one of those instruments that scares the hell out of a lot of people. But, again, it fits my personality, the way it works. NQ scares the hell out of me. Doesn't fit my personality. Okay, so that's an example. But there are NQ traders. There are YM traders. There are GC traders. So I have to get this so that it works off my strategy 100% of the time on the shorts, the longs, and everything in between, so that I'm comfortable with putting even my own money into it. Then I got to come up with the settings so that I'm offering this trading system per se with for everybody that should fit the gamut, that's out there. NQ traders, YM traders, GC traders, ES traders, RTY traders, CL traders, even 6E. 6E is, for you European traders, the 6E, this system works on the 6E, just so you know. I know that because I have traded the 6E much in the past. So anyways, that's what I want to just kind of get off my chest. If I'm not willing to put my own money into it yet, why would I expect you to? So like this setting is it may be too long, therefore it's just stopping you out of potential YM trades. That's what it looks like it's doing to me right now. So I've got to figure out what size of the candle is tolerant for. Here's a 1 minute gold line setting up possibly in the YM. That's what it just said in the background. By the way, so anyways, but I don't know candle size that's tolerant for the YM until I do a little bit of testing. So anyways, but so far it has not taken any trade, even though it's triggered some trade. Like this one would have been a profitable trade. That's really the only one. This one would have been a loss right here. So this one would have been a win. This one would have been a loss. And the rest of them never actually happened because these just kept going down. So far, the YM really has had, looks like just one trade or two trades, one win, one loss. So let's go to the RTY, which is the instrument I'm more familiar with, and therefore the settings are a little bit more accurate. So the RTY had a kind of a spastic morning, crossover, pullback. Why did this 5 minute gold line not trade? For example, even though it's a touch one, well, because see this pivot high, it broke this pivot high right here by one tick. Now, these are hard rules, folks. These are hard rules that I wrote. Did the trade work? Well, yeah. Oh, here's the other reason it didn't take it. Because of the overnight open. By the way, those of you who follow my stuff, I'm hoping Wyoming Cowboy caught this YM off the overnight open. Because that, boom, 20 ticks right there. I mean, zing, zing. I'm working on that indicator next, just so everybody knows. But that right there, there's your 20 ticks. Boom, you're done. But this trade, it's not going to let you take a trade back into that overnight open. That's just one thing this strategy is not going to allow you to do. This one is not going to allow you to take it back into the overnight open. So, cross, cross, cross. So we have all this crap going on around the overnight open, so nothing's going to trigger. Then we have a push down, new lows, up, new low again. Roll up into the 1 minute gold line. Here's the 1 minute gold line here. Says the candle's too big, but then this candle shrunk. So the entry hit the chart right here. Didn't trigger. The entry moved up on this one. It didn't trigger till this candle closed, and then bam, it triggered. Boom, you're out in 2 minutes. $400. RTY. Roll over. That's touch one. Roll over, pull up, touch two. Here's your entry. Here's your actual entry. Bam, $400. Then this is, oh my God, I just put this together. Meaning this whole thought process. This is literally classic. This is literally classic RTY trading right here. Watch this. Oh my God. All right, let me put this together for you. Crossover, pull up, 1 minute gold line. Pull up, 1 minute gold line. So you've had two 1 minute gold lines. Here's your touch three. Hence, it's not telling you to take it. Boom. Here's your 5 minute gold line. Wham. There's your $400. By the way, that one rolled down. You probably could have gotten at least 30 ticks on that one. And then what does it do? It does not create a new low, so it rolls up to the 5-minute red line. 5-minute red line. If it had triggered, it didn't here. I'm not sure why. I might not have my settings on it yet. It would have rolled down, and then you would have been out at even. That's it. So this would have been an even trade. I don't know why it didn't trigger. I might not have my settings right on it. I really wasn't expecting to be worried about the 5-minute red line in this video. I'm really focused on the 5-minute gold line, the 1-minute gold line, and the 5-minute gold line, because those are the things that trigger in the morning. The 5-minute red line has a tendency to trigger later in the day. So here you are. Here's your 3 for 3 today on your RTY for a total of let's see here, for 60 ticks per contract. 60 ticks per contract. This one here, you may have gotten another 5 ticks or so. It pushed down before it rolled up. You would have gotten knocked out at even if you didn't take 20. You know, because this kicks in to break even right here once it goes 10. That's what this yellow candle means. It actually, you entered and you went to break even in the same candle. My favorite trade. You go in and to break even in the same candle. That's my favorite trade. This one almost did that right here. Here's your entry. You went to break even right in here, and then boom, you hit your target, and then it rolled up. So, yeah, this is classic. Crossover, 1, 2, 1-minute gold lines. There's the 5-minute. Doesn't create. You guys should start recognizing these patterns. Does not create a new low, but this one came off a new low back into the 5-minute gold line, pushes down, does not create a new low. So you should have expected when it rolled back that it's going to the red line. I can't make this stuff any clearer than that, to be honest with you. I mean, I really can't. I can't make this any clearer than that. I mean, this is just pattern trading 101, price action 101. RTY in a non news day can really do this nice and smooth. It's part of the reason I like the RTY. Oil has a tendency to do the same thing. In a non-news day, meaning non-inventory news day, it has a tendency to do this exact pattern. 1, 2 on the 1-minute, roll back to the 5-minute. The validation that you should go for a second trade on the 5-minute only happens if this pierces this pivot that it created here and then comes back. Therefore, you'd have a second. What kept you out of the second? Here's touch 2. What kept you out of the touch 2? What kept you out of it was this did not go below this. Therefore, you didn't make a mistake, get into this, and get railroaded right over. Everybody, have a good day. Just know that I'm working very diligently on getting this done. ASAP. But it needs to do exactly what you're seeing right on here for every instrument, every time. Talk to you later. Bye.